rumor and innuendo.
You shut up. We're live. We got the homies in the house.
MADBASH Studios in the house. Let's get this.
I bet you motherfuckers wish that we just go away. Fuck it like a middle finger right up in your face. Never with that weak shit for radio plays. We the misfits got into it all way. No, I ain't here to make friends or replacements for the fake friends in my basement. You better kick rocks.
So, here we go. We're back. It's October, it's spooky season, and we got MADBASH Studios hanging out with us, which they are a podcast team / I'll let you guys kind of explain because it's very intricate what you guys are doing.
I don't even know how to explain what we do at this point.
We are
brother.
a little bit
We
of
do
everything, man.
Yeah, we're in it. We started with the podcasting. We do commentary. We make documentaries. We're jacks of all trades, basically. To pigeonhole us into one category, I feel like is doing a discredit to the other stuff that we do because we just do so much.
Jack of all trades, master of none, right?
At least a couple.
We know what we're doing with a couple items.
You're doing better than us. I see you brown bagging it there. Is that a Colt 45?
No, we got Disney Park exclusive
damn,
Star Wars water bottle. Yeah, then I got to get a little plug ski out there for this chocolate flavored beverage that we just love so much of.
Oh yeah, they are sponsored by Yoo-Hoo.
Yoo-Hoo.
Yeah, we are. I don't believe it. I still have to pinch myself sometimes.
Hey, put it up there. Let's do a shameless self promo. Let's go.
Oh, we got the Yoo-Hoo right here. It's a delicious beverage. Everyone here at MADBASH loves it. Jared Savage drinks about 3 or 4 of them every time he's over at the house.
Is that how he does his death-defying moves? By drinking Yoo-Hoo?
He's powered by Yoo-Hoo.
Holy shit!
Here's the little shameless.
If you drink Yoo-Hoo, you can do death-defying stunts like Jared Savage.
He's not wrong. Here's the little shameless plug ski that we'll get in there real quick. If you see us at a show and you buy one of our MADBASH wrestling stickers, you get a free bottle of Yoo-Hoo on us. So,
and you can bash it on an opponent's head if they get rowdy.
Yeah. Well,
as long as they clean up the glass.
Peel the label off first so they don't get incriminated.
Please. And you didn't get it from us.
You know what you could do is put a Michigan Misfits sticker right over that bad boy and smash him in the head.
Could do something as long as it's not tied to us. You know what I mean?
That's a whole liability problem.
Do that. Put our name.
Now we lost your endorsement.
Hey, we did it.
Hey, you could wear a Bad Touch Supply glove and you won't have fingerprints on that evidence.
There you go.
And if you use lipstick, you get 10% off.
I feel like this is information that I don't necessarily need to have, but hey, you know what?
I didn't realize I was coming on here and getting in trouble. That's how we do
it. Dropping info that you're not supposed to be dropping. You know what I mean?
You gotta have bad touch. You gotta have bad touch supply gloves for any dirty business that you ever do.
Yeah, this is why we can't do live because I don't trust Madrox. Most of the things that I've had to edit from podcasts, it's usually from him. So this is why, we had to have a little company meeting beforehand, and I was like, "Brother, we're going to be live."
Yeah, we have Crazy Joe on here. He's the precipice or whatever. He's the climb. If you can top Crazy Joe,
there we go. Check that out.
Oh shit!
Yep, there it is.
You guys should have a gimmick ICP that comes out and throws Yoo-hoo all over everyone instead of Fago.
You think I've not thought of this?
He
You think I have not thought of this?
He does. Fucking Yoo-hoo everywhere.
But don't throw the bottles because that will hurt people. And Yoo-hoo is not a company.
We'll have to get the little cardboard canisters.
Yeah, just the little cardboard boxes of them. Yeah,
Have a Yoo-hoo break every match.
That's awesome. I'm going to drink a Yoo-hoo tomorrow just because of you guys.
There you go. You need to pass that on to them so we can continue this partnership. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. If I pass it on to them, they're going to not continue your partnership.
Some weirdo in a mask came up to us and said it was because of you. Oh, we're going to nix that.
Yeah, who the fuck is that weirdo? I know they like wrestling, but who are those fucking weirdos?
Yep.
We get it all the time. Oh, shit. We got the face collector in the house.
There he is. There's the good brother right there.
Yeah, representing. Got the face collector on my.
So you guys have been doing it for a very long time, right? What 2000 prior to 2010, right?
Madrox for sure. Me, not so much. I got in 2012, and then I took a break in like 2015 until 2017, and then took another break in 2018, and then now I'm back. So
I started in 2005 because
so in those breaks you were training, I'm sure. But 2005, backyard wrestling all the way.
If we're going backyard wrestling, I started in the second grade, so that was like 1997.
Jesus Christ!
Professionally since 2005.
You were listening to the the Riddle Box, power bombing your kindergarten friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't? That's the best Joker's card. I don't know what anyone's talking about.
It's the very best.
Did I just make a hot take here?
Hell yes.
There we go. That's my personal opinion.
I'm tagging bootlegging. Let's go. Boom. Let's go.
Yeah. Tag me in. I was trying to figure out why I can't see some of the comments because I can't. And I don't understand why.
Just can't read.
Fair.
I keep seeing letters out of order. This ain't right.
Don't make fun of my question.
It's ABCDs. Bullshit.
Right.
So who's your guys' favorite backyard wrestler of all time? Like, what made you want to do it? Like, I'm sure wrestling, like WWE, everything made you want to wrestle.
Yeah.
But who's like, yo, I want to fucking do it myself? And because I like wrestling, but I want to go fuck my friends up like that because I was scared.
Yeah, no shit. No, Madrox and I both are big M-Dog 20 and Josh Prohibition guys. We, as generic as that is to pick those two, that's probably
the king of the backyard.
Yeah, they really were. And like I remember them being like all over those original backyard wrestling tapes. And so much so that my backyard name was Josh Ambition. I ripped off Josh Prohibition and made it Josh Ambition. So I mean, I don't think I'm speaking out of. Yeah, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn by saying that it's M-Dog and Josh Prohibition, right, Madrox?
No, you're completely right.
Yeah,
you got to throw some creeping death in there too.
Yeah. We were big backyard wrestling fans back in the day. He's actually the reason that I started backyard wrestling because I wanted to be cool like him. And I didn't do it near as long as he did. And then it took, I think I stopped backyard wrestling like my freshman year of high school. But this guy kept doing it until he was a professional wrestler. So he stayed at it a lot longer than I did.
So that was right around 2008, 2010, right?
Yeah, I graduated high school in 2010. So I stopped in like 2007 probably is when I stopped backyard wrestling.
I stopped in 2005.
So when you stopped, you mean like stopped participating or stopped like engaging altogether? The company
I stopped participating in backyard wrestling because I got to a wrestling school, and back then that shit was very frowned upon. You can't be a yarder and a pro boy at the same time.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
tattooers. Like, oh, you tattooed your buddy without practicing? Like, we ain't gonna apprentice you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some very few get a lot of respect from starting in that position. Like what's his name? M Dog.
M Dog
M40.
Kwani and Josh Prohibition. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're the kings, man.
Youth Suicide was another one
Yep.
that started out doing that stuff. He was trained by Supreme. I used to watch The Link back in the day, downloading videos off the website The Link. One of my favorite videos was called The Backyard. It was a DVD about.
Oh, I love that movie. Love that movie. Is that the one with the lizard?
Yeah, and it had Chaos, the Juggalo from
Love it.
Arizona that took the aspirin so he would bleed more, and he was like, "Man, I'm woozy." Yeah,
I love that documentary, man. I love it. I just
great,
watched it not too long ago.
yeah, it's good stuff, man. I mean, it really shows you the dark side. But then again, like you seen that one parent freaking out because she saw her son like participating in the stuff that she didn't want him to be doing. But at the same time, the kid Scar, that was, he had problems with him, and he was cut up from all the surgeries he had. But he found something fun and something thrilling out of the backyard wrestling and doing extra crazy shit because he already been through so much that it didn't bother him that much. I thought that was kind of cool in its own way.
Yeah, it is. It's really kind of.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It's just it's kind of inspiring in a way,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
like
spoke on the frowned upon of the backyard wrestling. What about now that David Arquette did it? Did it stray? Because he did it. So how can he be respected? And he almost died. You guys did it respectfully. No one almost died. You guys were. You may not be pros, but you know how to do it. I seen guys get body or power bombed on the back of a truck bed. Like, you didn't break their back. You didn't go overboard. You can sell it at an amateur level, backyard style, but not hurt someone.
When I came up,
fucking died.
When I got in 05, it was like still the old school mentality. Like, that shit's not flying. You can't say you were ever a backyard wrestler. You'll never get booked on a show if you did. Like, it was still the end of the like attitude era into the late 80s era of trainers, like where you'd go to a show and you'd be the youngest kid off the show being surrounded by like guys that are like 50, 60 years old with their pot bellies hanging out in their cowboy boots and their blue jean gear.
Show me your lockup, kid.
But they paid their dues because they didn't do backyard. Like, you didn't have to, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's really not even the whole back. I think it's just more of the idea that these guys are letting these untrained guys come into what they determine is, or what they consider rather, to be like sacred, and I think to a point that's admirable. But you also got to understand too, like, I'm a firm believer, like, if you don't have the proper training, don't get the fuck in the ring, but like,
they think they're unsafe, right?
Yeah, well, it's not even necessarily that they're unsafe. It's just they are, but not intentionally, in a way, if that makes sense. So
unsafe
it's like
to themselves to an extent.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
They're flinching and holding up. Like, dude, you gotta roll with it. It's like wrestling with your brother. Like, dude, what are you doing? You're gonna hurt your fucking self. Like,
exactly.
Right now, brother.
Yeah, that kid's a little stiffsky, but no. I think that's the thing with it, is that it's just, the stigma of backyard wrestling definitely is there. But it's still there to a certain degree, but you just don't see it as much as you did back in the day, I think.
It's more embraced now.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you look at the guys that I made, cheap plug, Danville Dreamers. I made that documentary about them. They have a legitimate company now, and they're actually training and they're actually learning how to do it, so it's not necessarily the backyard stigma, it's more of the you're untrained stigma.
It starts out with like a passion for it, but you ain't got the money to be able to be trained, so you do the best you can to figure out a way to be involved with it and train yourself. Like Jared Savage told me, sorry, Jared, I don't mean to get too personal, but he did tell me that he spent many hours like a kid would spend on a trampoline in their backyard, taking bumps in a ring that he had made in his grandparents' backyard, and just training himself how to move around in the ring and stuff. Which is, like you said, wrestling can be inspirational. One of my favorite documentaries, and I was going to get around to your documentary because I was going to bring up this one other one, The Trade or Unscarred, the Nick Mondo story.
Yeah,
I find the way he talks about, he touches on the emotional and mental part of why people do deathmatch or why people backyard and do the things they do. And I think that anybody that ever has a question about what it takes mentally to do these things, watch one of those two documentaries by Sick Nick Mondo, and it will help you understand a little bit. Or you can watch some of the stuff that Vice has done about deathmatch, because they do a good job of not making it look like it's a horrible thing, but also embracing the love for what it is and what people do get out of it. But your guys' documentary, Danville Dreamers, are they based out of Danville, Illinois?
Yes, sir. Yep.
I'm in Illinois, dude. That's a skip away from me. I'm about an hour away in Bloomington Normal.
Well, brother, what are you doing here here in a couple of weekends? We'll be at their show.
That's what I'm saying. I heard about the one on Sunday, and there's supposed to be a crazy gimmick match, supposedly with Jared Savage.
Yep. Jared Savage is going to, he's, obviously Jared's one of the Mad Bash boys. He's one of the original 5 for Mad Bash Wrestling, which is a sub company that has come off of, Mad Bash Studios. He's going to be facing the Bud Light Brawler Dalton Davis in a Joker's Funhouse match, which for fans of Danville Dreamers is actually it's kind of funny that it's happening, because this match was kind of the focal point of my documentary that I made, and then now it's happening again. So it's just kind of one of those full circle moments,
So speaking of your documentary, what about Six Fingers? Is he still Mr. Six?
Mr. Six, he still got him. Like I said, we went back a few weeks ago and we started making the sequel, and he's still there. He's still got all 6 of them right there, and that was my first question was, do you still have them? And he was like, yeah, I do. They're right here. And I was like, oh man, that's so cool. But
have you ever been slapped by all 6 of them?
I can't say that I have. No.
I wonder if it hurts.
Just a little bit more than a normal slap,
he's got extra sting on that chop.
So also in that documentary, you guys had like a mat on the ground, and then couple, like 20, 30 minutes into it, there was a real ring, and then a mat again. And they spoke of, like, did you guys rent it?
Okay, so what they did was, I was not affiliated with NVW. I just went there to go film them.
You were the commentator, right?
No, I never worked for NVW.
Who was the commentator guy in that documentary?
He was the narrator.
Dude,
he was the one asking all the questions and everything.
He did a great job. He reminded me of a young Paulie from like ECW, like the way he talked.
Don't feel his ego.
But anyway, no. So what they would do? You're good. What they would do? They would take these gym mats, and then they would put sheets down on the mats. But the show, because the day that I went to go film that documentary was the first time I ever met those guys. I had watched their videos and was absolutely in love with them because of the love of backyard wrestling, So my buddy, Jason V, shout out, he rented them a wrestling ring, like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before we were there. So, and that's what's cool about the first one, is that it's the whole story is they keep talking about, we want to get a wrestling ring. We want to get a wrestling ring. And then now they have one. So, yeah.
So, yeah. So, do you know how big it was? Because I know there's like 3.
The ring?
I think there's 3 different sizes of rings. Maybe.
I believe.
The really big ones for WWE.
Yeah, they're 20. Matt, what size was the UWC ring? Do you remember?
16.
Was it 16 or It was 16? Okay.
16.
Yeah, so that was a 16-foot ring.
Because I seen have you ever been to JCW match?
No,
Yes.
but I've watched plenty of it.
So
He's been.
at the gathering, they bring a fairly smaller ring, so that way they don't have to run so far and get gassed out. And it's weird because it's like they take 4 steps and boom, they're hitting them. It's like, what the hell? It's like, what is this? 12-foot
Yeah.
ring?
That's
Yeah,
a
there's
14
all
footer.
set.
Like, is that standard? Like, do house shows like WWE and stuff like that, or do they just rock the stand? What is it? 28-foot, the regular one?
No, 20 is the standard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure WWE always has a 20-foot ring whenever they do shows.
Even
24
smaller.
foot during the Rumble.
Except,
Right,
yeah, the
because-
Rumble.
They have to make sure that they always are adjusted to what they're used to when they're trained on things like that. Because I think part of when they go to before you get into NXT developmental, when you get into
Yeah.
there, it's like you're getting used to the size of their ring, the way they work, the way they see if you can hang with what they're trying to put you through, so you can handle the scheduling or whatever, what have you. So I mean, they make sure that you can hang with all that before. I mean, you watched the movie about Paige, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
So back on the rings.
Yeah.
This is a dumb question. Is a boxing ring the same size as a wrestling ring? Do you know? Or
Same size, but made different.
Made very differently. Very differently, yeah.
You don't want to take a bump on a boxing ring.
No, not at all.
So what's different? The poles or the padding?
Both. Boxing ring
Both.
has no padding.
None. It's like I remember somebody said every time I watch or hear about Mick Foley's fall from the top of the cage in Hell in a Cell when he actually took the bump in the ring, he said everybody that is unanimous with what they say those rings back then weren't made like they are now, and the way he hit, you can tell that he just when he flopped the way he did, it was like, man, those rings were like almost like landing on cement. Everybody says that about those rings back then.
Yeah.
And it's just
It
crazy.
has been
thing
better
about that
than
one.
the table.
Right, yes. Everybody says that one had to hurt a lot more than going through the table that he took.
That was
It was
definitely.
because he
You had
was
a
on
small cushion of particle board between the cement.
yeah.
I'll
I'd
give
rather
you
go through a table than bump in a ring.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's my next question. Have you guys ever been thrown through a table?
Yes.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, well,
Tables
there's
make you fall.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna
Table, if you do it right, a table won't actually hurt as bad as just landing on the fucking ground.
Yep.
so he's probably gonna kill me for this, but there is a video that is on the internet of Mr. Michael Madrox having a very hard time getting a table to stay on fire, and then they just cannot get the table to break.
Yes.
So I forget how you what the title of the video is, but it's still on YouTube.
It should be
I'll link it to you
goddamn table.
The dude set a wet table he found in the driveway of the building on fire, and then slams me on it. The fire goes out. Then nothing happens. So he does it again. Nothing happens. So he does it again, and I just land on the fire and just lay there like an idiot. And then I'm like, fuck you, bro. You're going through this table. So I had my tag partner stand on my shoulders and frog splashing from inside the ring to the floor.
He's done some pretty crazy stuff. He actually showed me a promo that he did as Michael Madrox when he had this guy's what was it, wife or girlfriend tied up, ready to
the
pour
Don's
gas
wife.
on this woman, and was enraged. And I guess he said that the authorities were called on him for said promo.
Yeah, we had the state troopers show up at the show to make sure that she was not, in fact, kidnapped or in any sort of danger. The dude
The
filled
life
the
and times of Michael Madrox, ladies and
That-
gentlemen.
You
All right,
should
in my
have went
defense.
into the ring and made it part of the show. Like, come on here, bitch.
In my defense, this motherfucker was sitting in his car at work and decided to film a promo video talking about how he was going to kick my ass. So what do? Being the better person, I go to his house and convinced his wife to be kidnapped and took to the house where her parents died in, which happened to be abandoned.
Naturally.
Pour gasoline on her, threaten to, set her on fire. Like, don't fucking talk shit from the front seat of a car.
Right.
Crazy. You guys are
So then I
crazy.
started a production company with this guy. So
Mr. Madrox, were
Yes,
you
sir.
once known as the franchise? Was that you or no?
No.
You kind of. All right. I'm sorry. Is that guy still there?
are they talking about franchise Chris Halls from the documentary?
Correct.
Yeah, he's still wrestling. He's actually still a part of in NVW, and he's featured pretty heavily in Danville Dreamers too.
Right, because I was wondering, because he said he had worked 10 years prior to that documentary, and that was like a few years ago, so he's been doing it a long time.
Yeah. The NVW guys, I think, started there.
Yeah, so what is the
Years
affiliation
ago.
with MVW and you guys then?
Literally, I just was a fan when I would watch their backyard videos, and I decided I wanted to make a documentary about them. So then I went
Was
and
that
made the
pre
documentary.
your guys' faction?
Yeah, I wasn't even really rolling with Madrox at that point. I mean, granted, I've known this guy since I'm like 5, but there was a brief period there where we weren't like rolling like we are now. You know what I mean? So it was me and Jason V that went and made the first documentary. And then all these years went by, and then now that I have MADBASH and everything, we decided to make the sequel. So, yeah, Madrox is a lot more involved with this first one than he, or with this new one than he was with the first one.
So, Mr. Madrox, why do you call yourself Mr. Madrox?
The name actually came from Jamie Madrox from X-Men and Michael Myers.
Dope. I named my son Jaden Madrox is the only reason I asked.
Mm-hmm.
That's a God-given name.
Yep.
He's trying to get him to change it for copyright purposes, but he won't do it.
Yeah, next week I'm going to be Michael Magino.
Yes. Sweet.
Dickie, is your expertise then the filming and in that sort of background?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say expertise. I'm pretty well versed. I kind of know my way around content creation. I've pretty much done it all. I had a YouTube channel there for a little bit. I was a Twitch streamer. But my heart has always been in wrestling, even whenever I left for those few years. So what's cool about this current run, like with MADBASH and everything, is that I always have a content creator deep down inside of me. So now I'm able to combine the two things that I love, which is wrestling and content creation. So, yeah, I'm like, when it comes to the filming and stuff, like, and all the editing, that's definitely that. I would say that's my strong suit. Yeah.
And I was gonna say, and then Michael, he has the like the connections through the wrestling and stuff. Kind of like he's doing the thing. I mean, I haven't really explained much about it yet. I was gonna segue into that, but you help out, sir, with EPW, where our homie Jared Savage wrestles on the regular, and I'll let you, sir, give him the spotlight. I'm asking him. We'll let you explain, sir. What do you do there, and how'd you get involved with EPW and your little, soiree from like wrestler to, helping a promotion?
You can hear that story on patreon.com/MADBASH Studios. Back us at the $5 tier, and you can hear that story. I'm joking. We did tell the story of how we got involved with them on there, but no, I mean, I'm just giving him a hard time.
Nah, like back in November of last year.
Yeah, it was November.
Me and Dickie both were going through some like horrible life phases and shit, and we reconnected to each other after going to work production for WWE. And we were just sitting around watching JCW and bad YouTube wrestling, and we're like, hey, let's go do commentary somewhere. And we just reached out to one company, which thank God they didn't use us because a lot of shit came out. And then our buddy Stephen Mitchell posted on his Facebook page, EPW's looking for a commentary team. So I looked over at Dickie and I was like, let's do it. And he looked at me, he said, let's see if we can get booked. And it's been on ever since, man.
Yeah, it was really kismet. It just the way it happened. Like Madrox said, I pretty much just like in a ball of depression was on his couch for a solid like month and a half, and he just happened to look over at me, and he had just refreshed his Facebook feed, and he said, "Hey, this company called EPW wants commentators. Let's go." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." And we didn't really think too much of it. We were just
We're
kind
going
of
for a
like,
tryout.
yeah, we really were just going to kind of vibe it out and like see how it went. And then now we're, for lack of a better term, balls deep in the wrestling business again.
With multiple companies.
Yeah.
It's amazing how things
It's a blessing and a curse, right?
It is, man.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, look at Tony Schiavone. He was just doing radio work for the Atlanta Braves, working at a fucking Starbucks. Then he gets a call from Conrad Thompson, and then he does a podcast talking about WCW being like a casket on roller skates, and makes fun of everything that they did that was wrong back then. And then all of a sudden, boom, AEW comes knocking. But before that, it was MLW, and then he got the love for wrestling back, and he's being inducted into some kind of Hall of Fame now. And I'm just like, good for that guy, because he went from hating wrestling and not even wanting to work with TNA to coming back and having the time of his life and loving wrestling all over again. And I mean, who else has held the mic more for Ric Flair than that guy? You know what I'm saying? It's looking. But I was gonna say, back to your Patreon thing.
Yeah.
You guys got something really big coming up on there that people probably want to tune in for, and I'll let you explain.
Yeah. So, as Madrox said, we actually owe a lot to JCW in a weird way, because like that's what we would watch. We would watch old JCW matches, watch old wrestling matches on YouTube. So
EPW has a JCW rep, right?
I'm sorry?
You guys have a referee at ECW that's a JCW rep, like used to be, right?
Oh,
Ollie, yeah. And then the other referee, Terry Hopper, used to work for TNA back in the day. So that's pretty cool. But so before we even started Mad Bash, we had an idea for a YouTube series where we were going to find matches on YouTube and we wanted to do commentary over them. So now that we've launched this platform, we announced this a little bit on our Patreon, but this is the first time it's been said public about what exactly this is going to be. So you guys get the exclusive ski. Coming soon to the $10 tier on our Patreon is going to be a show called Element OP, Legendary Matches, now on Primetime. And basically what we're going to do, we're going to find like old matches from companies that we used to work for, that we used to be associated with, that don't have commentary. And we're going to piece together like little 30 to 45 minute shows and do commentary over these matches. And that's going to be a once a month show that we're going to be doing on the Patreon. And we're really excited about it.
But what separates this from everything else, though, it is not a Dickie Wabash and Michael Madrox show.
Yeah, we will be playing different characters than what we normally do when we do commentary. Because like I said, we have that love of JCW and how Jay and Shaggy would do their commentary. They would play different characters. So that's pretty much what we're going to do.
You obviously seen Stranglemania 1 and 2 then.
I love it. I love that shit, dude. I love that shit. Like, we still to this day, like, we will probably once a day at least, we send each other a quote that is from an old JCW tape or an old Stranglemania tape or something. Like my favorite one right now is from JCW Volume 1, where he goes, "Here comes cash flow," and he looks about as broke as a fucking clock radio from 1985. Like just shit like
I
that.
like
Like
when he says he calls him. He got sandwich. He prefers to call it in between because if he calls it a sandwich, he'll get too hungry.
yeah, the one that we quote probably more than anything is they were doing it, it's them doing a commentary over a 6-man tag, and they keep talking about how this is in Australia, 30,000 people hanging from the rafters, and then they're like, "Oh, Australia's never seen action like this or this match because it really happened in Connecticut," or whatever they say. But like, it's just
You're talking
shit
about
like
with
that.
Big Larry and all those people. Like, here comes Big Larry with the big boot.
Oh, they were so funny when they were doing that shit, man. And they honestly, like, in a weird way, 3D and Guido are like our biggest influences when it comes to commentary in a weird way.
Well, it's good, man. It's good.
Yeah.
The old school shit keeps it fucking fresh, man.
I absolutely adored them when they came out on WCW because I'd never heard them do commentary before that. Like I hadn't seen the JCW VHS tapes. I bought them soon after that, but the way they were making fun of Tank Abbott and calling him Pink Rabbit and shit,
And Tank Flabbit and all that, yeah.
I was like, they're gonna get beat up backstage if they don't stop.
So speaking of JCW, though, do you ever see JCW 1 with that super duper padded mat? It was like 9 inches thick. They were like,
That was in a boxing ring.
"Oh, really? What? No, it couldn't have been because it was like a water bed. It was so
They
goddamn.
put shipping foam over that to protect the guys, but that was in fact a boxing ring in that first movie.
Really?
Yep.
Crazy.
Holy
It was
shit.
so squishy they couldn't even run.
You could see it. Yeah, you could see them stepping into it, and they were like, it almost get like they were running on marshmallows, like they were in a bouncy ring, like bouncy house.
I think it's.
So speaking of JC, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think it's the third one where we talked about Josh Prohibition and M-Dog. M-Dog 20 does the springboard moonsault and the fucking middle rope breaks. So the rest of the show, there's no middle rope on the ring. And then later, they come out and Violent J still acts like he's climbing over the second rope whenever there's no rope there. It's just dumb shit like that we just love.
Hey, it's better than Violent J and ketamine, I guess.
Fair.
What the fuck was that? What's the dress the elephant in the room? What the fuck was that? Did you guys see it or no? Anyone? Anyone at all?
I saw it. I
was
don't know
wild.
the context or anything about it.
I don't know either, but he was straight. I would never say that. I would never look at a dude and say any of that ever. Not even a joke. I'll never look at a joke like that.
Oh my god!
I got some jokes.
We're gonna bring it up.
That's bootleg. I get goofy, but I'm not getting that goofy ever.
You've never been that goofy. Never. I'm just
That's
saying.
wild, dude. Like, I think he got recorded saying some shit he didn't think he was
I
gonna
don't
do.
know. Maybe that's why he dropped that single bomb ass pussy or whatever.
Right. Then he was like, yo, he was on ketamine, like, yo, draw a picture, I'll describe it. And then there was that, and then he's like, it's gonna come out. I know Corey Feldman, I know Roseanne, I'm good. I don't care anymore.
Jesus.
Did you see at the fucking Hollow Wicked, they got like ICP, Ouija Mag, this person, Corey Feldman. Like, what? What are we doing?
Really? Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
That's
dude.
that's that off the wall shit that you kind of have to come to expect, though, you know?
But why is he fucking like third on the docket? Like, what? Wait a minute. 2 years ago, we have been roasting Corey Feldman. You know what I mean?
And all of his girls left the band because him and his girl got divorced. So now it's like a bunch of old drunk musicians from like an old rock cover band that are trying to play his set now. And his music, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but it's so abstract and weird. And he like
Extension Millennium, man. Let's go. That's my fucking jam. I love Corey Feldman.
Whoa,
Not
whoa,
really.
whoa. All right, here's my take. Everyone was crying that Jay was a rapist, right? And then Corey was crying he was raped. Jay's smoothing over the concrete.
Could be. Yeah, I know Corey Feldman's a big like advocate for stuff like that. So,
But no, remember he was like, I got raped, blah, blah, blah. It was like, why are you going to hang out with Jay of all people? Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
Money.
He's got the ketamine supply, probably.
Money.
You're right, exactly. See? See? Corey Feldman knows Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan gave the supply to Corey Feldman to give to Violent Jet. Here it is, trifecta.
Allegedly.
TMZ, if you fucking put this out, I want to cut, bitch.
TMZ. I
Wow,
wonder how
broken news. CNN. Next
I wonder
week.
what Violent J's girlfriend thinks about these accusations.
Violent J don't give a fuck. He just runs through them like he don't give a shit. Bye.
He was just on the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts show, and Neil deGrasse Tyson was on with him. And that is the most randomized conversation I've ever heard in my entire life.
Dude, Neil deGrasse Tyson was just like, fuck you. Like, who's this clown?
Oh, did you see it?
Dude, I heard it. Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
You can almost hear Jay biting his tongue because he wanted to lip off and be like OJ.
He goes, find the video of the guy flying around in the basket.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what he's talking about.
It has to be Magnus.
I did look it up, and Hitler isn't what. Look it up. Because I Googled it, because I was going to, like, almost commentate, like, the link, and I was like, nah, I don't want to go down with that shit. But there is kind of a video what he was describing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was magnets. They had, like, hoses or something. I don't know. It was weird. But there is some guy floating around in some basket, like he said.
In a basket.
I looked it up, dude. It was crazy. But Neil deGrasse Tyson was just like, who the fuck is this guy? He was like, I want to learn about it. Jay's like, yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, yeah.
Yeah, sure you do, buddy.
Dude,
but now, did you see he was hanging out with fucking Roseanne?
Who was?
Jay.
Violent J.
Oh, was he? That's funny.
Yes. He's hanging out with Roseanne, Neil deGrasse. Like, what the fuck are you
doing? Making his rounds. Can't fault him.
Right, so he's just like, you know what? 20 years ago, I said a bunch of shit. I'm just going to negate it all right now. Like, why?
You want to know something, though? Maybe he feels like Snoop Dogg does, or, you know, where he's like, I can hang out with any celebrity I want to, and it's fucking money because it just looks cool. You know what? I like Martha Stewart hanging out with. I'm talking about.
Whoa. Take your brother with you. Because if I'm hanging out with Roseanne, you're coming with me. Not just.
I'm talking about Snoop Dogg.
Okay. If I'm hanging out with Snoop Dogg, you're coming too. But if Jay goes.
Bring Dre with him, you know what I mean? Snoop and Dre.
Like Snoop can hang out with whoever he wants, like Martha Stewart, and it's fucking money. It's like cool shit, right?
Right,
Jay
but you got what I'm saying. Why is he hanging out with Snoop
and fucking Roseanne Barr, and it's fucking dope because. You know, he's an old fucking rapper, and it's cool like that. You know what I mean? That's how the nostalgia and like all that stuff rolls in. You know, it's like all these people are like, "Hey, man, I'll hang out with them." You know,
maybe all I'm saying is that if I had the opportunity to hang out with Martha Stewart, I'm leaving Madrox. Sorry, you're on your own.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Cook me some bomb
I
food,
will
you know
fucking suplex bootleg through the fucking alpha cage if he does that to me. You're done, bootleg.
Well, really? Madrox has one leg, so he can't really catch me.
Oh. Yeah. Speaking of which,
I got fake legs, plural. So
let's segue that into the next thing I wanted to bring up: the Long Live Evil Psycho Screwjob music video.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, because you were like in weave with how the workings with this all went down, and how was it working with the boys in Long Live Evil, Mr. Madrox?
It was actually easy as shit. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They asked us if it was doable. We pulled some strings. I might be mistaken, but didn't we change venues for that show, Dickie?
No, we were in the same venue that we always were.
Okay, I didn't know if we were supposed to be in Washington that one, but
No, that was always an Odin show.
yeah, it was super simple, man. Jared reached out. He's like, "Hey, Billy wants to know if we can do a video shoot." So I reached out to the owner of EPW, and I was like, "Hey, let's make this happen." And after some convincing, because they didn't know who the fuck anybody was, they're like, "Yeah, okay, let's do it." And it was just magic the whole night, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Give me MADBASH and Yoo-Hoo, Jared Savage says in the comments.
Wants to hear more about the.
He doesn't
ins and
need
outs of
any more,
Madbash.
you. He doesn't need any more.
Yeah, he
He's
wants to
on
hear more about MADBASH. What else you guys got going on your Patreon page, by the way?
Fuck, what don't we have going on?
You got to pay for it, and then you'll find out.
Yeah. Well, right now we're in the middle of what we're calling pilot season, where we're basically, to put it bluntly, we're just kind of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. We're just making like one-off shows. Like I did one called Dickie's Video Game Junction, where I talk about video games. We did one called Tales from the Backyard, where we talked about backyard wrestling. We've got a couple other shows cooking that are going to be coming out with pilot season. And then our plan in December is to put a poll up and see which show people liked the most. And then that show will get picked up and then become a full-time MADBASH show.
That's on top of everything we already got going with
Yeah.
Paid Show, which is a continuation of Spot Show, which is
Yeah.
free every Thursday on Spotify,
And
iTunes,
you guys
Google
just
app.
got finished doing a.
Wait, what's that? Wait, what's this plug? How do you get there?
Huh?
On Spotify? What is it? MADBASH.com? Spotify?
Just Spot Show Podcast. Just
Spot Show
search,
Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast on we're on every podcasting platform. You can find us all there, but we have all my links. I believe it's MADBASH-Studios. I don't remember. I'm terrible at promoting my own brand. That's where you can find everything about us.
Dope.
Or the easy route, Facebook.com/MADBASH Studios.
Yeah, we post a lot of shit on there.
Nice.
They are very frequent there. You can find their lives there when they go live.
Yep.
I see you guys finished recording something with one of our good friends,
Yeah.
the Face Collector. You guys were telling us about that before we went live, that you guys got some really good stuff that people will want to make sure that they check out. Zooligans especially, you want to make sure that you hear that one.
Yeah, Jared, so he was on the podcast. I mean, we had to tranquilize him before we went on with him because he was trying to collect our faces. But once we got him calm, we had a pretty good discussion about video games, various wrestling video games. That man's an encyclopedia when it comes to wrestling video games.
Yes, I found that's the best way to calm that beast down is to bring up an old video game, like off of, say, his GameCube, and he's like, "Oh, I'll tell you how to get through it," and it's just like it calms him right down.
Love it, man. I love it. You play this game. This is the game. I love it. That was supposed to be Jared Savage, but it wasn't very great.
I'll beat the shit out of you on any N64 wrestling game ever.
He's trying to turn me on to some Japanese PS2 games. But anyways, so his Spot Show proper is just us talking about video games, but then his paid show, which you can get for $5 at patreon.com/MADBASH Studios. He got a little bit deep into like how he met us, his experience in the wrestling business, and it's a side of Jared Savage that not many people get to see. And it's our longest paid show. Typically we go like for paid show, we go like an hour or not, sorry, a half hour to 40 minutes. Usually Jared went like 55 minutes. So his paid show is probably the best paid show that we've done.
Oh
You
yeah,
can watch it for $5.
Yep.
$5.
And there is, if anyone is just curious, if they want to just check out what we're doing, you can do it for free because the $5 tier has a 7-day free trial. And there's hours of content on there already. So, and
That's
there's more
how I
coming.
saw the documentary. Myself, I saw it, the full director's cut. That's how I saw it, was on the
The
Patreon.
Wabash cut. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the 7-day trial, but I also got the month long because I kept watching some of the content on there. And I got to say, you guys have a formula between the two of you that's interesting to watch. You guys actually you keep the things entertaining and thoughtful for your audience, and that's important. And I can tell you've been doing the content thing for a long time because it shows.
Yeah. We have a pretty good dichotomy. I always like to describe it as, Madrox is the motivator. I'm the innovator. So I'm always the one that comes up with the crazy ideas. And then he's the one that like kind of levels it out and talks me down sometimes on some of my ideas. So we have a pretty good dichotomy going in there. And I think that a lot of that just comes from the fact that, we've known each other 20 plus years. So, yeah, we have a pretty good little deal going on there with all that.
Okay, I got a good question for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys keep throwing up all the
we were the
pictures and
guests. We're
stuff.
supposed to be. They ask us questions. What are you doing, brother?
This is my creative mind going. Is there any way you
no.
guys can play the trailer for Danville Dreamers 2 during this live stream?
Oh,
Yes,
Well-
Bootleg will do it. You do it. Don't say no.
yeah,
we'll do it.
it's on the Facebook page.
Thing. We can only do 30-second clips.
What? No, you
Okay.
can't. How?
When I upload like our video for our stuff that we do, like our intro and stuff, it only allows 30-second clips of video.
That's bullshit.
Well,
All
then
right,
go to
if we're doing it,
facebook.com.
4 times.
I would say
Let's go.
go to facebook.com/MadBash Studios and you can see the trailer for Danville Dreamers 2.
Can we put the trailer at least, Bootleg, with your weak ass fucking streamer?
I just told you it'd have to be 30 seconds.
That's what I
I
said.
think it's like a
How long is
2.5 minute long trailer, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a full length trailer.
Yeah.
play some of it. Don't be a dick. Come on.
What are you talking about?
What? I'm talking about playing some of it.
I can't upload it unless it's
Try
under
it.
30 seconds, sir.
Try it.
I'm trying to tell you.
The movie itself will go live on Patreon October 29th, which is the anniversary of when I filmed the first one. And then it will have a limited 30-day exclusivity on Patreon, and then it goes live to the public on November 29th. So
And we're gonna figure out a better streaming service so we can do that shit.
Oh, you want more time? I got you. Well, whatever we do, man, I've been using the StreamYard just because it's like,
Hey, that's another stream. YouTube. Talk wrestling. So who are your guys' favorite wrestlers ever? Like, I'm an old ass man. My favorite wrestler was Junkyard Dog, baby.
Oh, okay.
Mine's Raven.
YD.
Mine's Raven.
Madrox is a big Raven guy. That's his favorite of all time.
Raven
and
was
then
dope, man. He was borderline
Raven's the
dope.
shit.
Raven's
we're big fans of
underrated.
Raven.
Raven is the greatest psychological mind that ever stepped foot in the ring.
Okay,
Fight
let's go on there. Where has Raven been? Is he still around? Is he dead?
He's doing podcasts, man.
He does a
popped
podcast.
up in Impact not too long ago.
and he was
He's
in
in the Hall of
MLW.
Fame.
Dude, come out with his fucking scarecrow shit. Dope.
He was with he came out and he introduced a group on MLW but now Ricky Shane Page is like the one that's kind of in charge of it. But they all come out with gas masks. You know how he's got to have like all these goons that dress similar to him, but he came out in a gas mask gimmick about 3 weeks ago or a month ago on MLW, and that's what I've seen of him lately. But yeah, he does a podcast every once in a while, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you on the Raven thing.
And then my favorite wrestler of all time is Chris Jericho. I'm a big Jericho guy. He's always been my all-time favorite. So
do you like Walls of Jericho as well?
I love everything Chris Jericho, man.
Even that's his rock group, right? Walls of Jericho.
Fozzy.
Oh, sorry, that's his wrestling move. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't necessarily listen to Fozzy. Just not my style of rock music.
That was my question. So you like him as a wrestler, not as an artist?
I wouldn't say I don't like him as an artist. I don't go out of my way to listen to Fozzy. Really,
it's kind of like Body Rock. I like him as an artist, not a wrestler.
That's fair.
No, he's too violent. He broke my leg twice. And I got fake legs.
I like his Firefly matches.
Yeah, so whenever you were developing the Firefly Funhouse match with John Cena, what was that whole process like?
Did you see him?
I didn't.
Yeah, I've never seen him ever. I'm pretty sure
he had to go off camera like this.
If I was John Cena, I would demand royalties from every show. You can't see me. I was there.
Logical.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever? What?
Yes, that's so. It was just, it rolled right off the tongue like you were really asking Bray Wyatt. And it's like, it is
personal, bro.
He's like Tupac.
Right.
Tupac lives in Cuba. Bray Wyatt is on Super Fan of Fake Time Friends.
Yeah, the ghost of Bray Wyatt.
Right. It was too lucrative to be here, so he quit WWE. Duh. No brainer.
I used to be able to do a really good Bray Wyatt impression, but I lost it a long time ago.
Body Rock, Ken. Do it, bro. Come on. Let's go.
You just have to sit there.
Just say Wowie Zowie or whatever he says.
Yowie Wowie.
Yeah.
All right,
so whatever he says anymore, buddy.
He could just
enough
say
of the Bray Wyatt shit, okay, man? Let me see your Husky Harris.
Yeah. You can't do that no more. He's got dreads already.
Yeah,
but
sorry, man.
Bobby Rock did get a picture with Bray Wyatt before he died. R.I.P.
And you know what? He's a lot bigger than he is.
I know. Bobby Rock's a monster. Just chill. You don't gotta fucking do that.
Dude. I'm talking about Bobby Rock being a monster. I said Bray Wyatt's got some poundage on fucking Bobby Rock.
Not anymore. Now he's a pile of dirt. I'm sorry.
Hey.
It's too soon. Hey. I'm not putting fucking my Owen Hart's figure on a post. You know, I'm a good guy. Did you guys see Owen Hart die on pay-per-view?
I was watching that pay-per-view, yes.
Terrible. Then they just kept going. They're like, well,
yeah. I mean, but they definitely were in a tough situation. But I mean, at the end of the day,
no. They had millions of dollars at that time. They're not in a situation. They could have stopped everything. Been like, let's not wrestle in a dead guy's blood. But they did.
I think with the benefit of hindsight, you can look back on it now and be like, maybe they should have stopped the show, you know?
Indeed.
I guess if brains are on the mat, you probably should say no. I'll draw my line.
If something happened like now, I still don't see them stopping.
You don't think so, Bobby Rock?
No.
They kept going.
No, man.
I had a heart attack.
Too much money.
Who had a heart attack?
Jerry Lawler, when he was doing commentary, they kept the show going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Jerry Lawler had a heart attack live on air, and they still kept the show going.
You can hear the people bitching like, "Hey, paramedic, keep it down, man.
You can hear
Stroker
him
is
having a heart
loud.
attack.
Yeah.
Take his mic off. Take his mic off. He's bitching."
Yeah, and he actually did die. He actually died, but then they resuscitated him. So
Jerry the King.
yeah, big
Zombie
big
King now.
King guy, especially him and Kaufman.
Zombie King now.
Technically, he can say that he's a zombie. This is fair.
Or Jesus. He just came back. He's got one more time, right?
Yeah, I think Jerry Lawler just had another health scare not too long ago. I think.
Then he had like a stroke or something.
Yeah. I knew something happened.
And now
Bootleg. Get him on here before he dies.
Shit. He looks
I wish I could get Jerry Lawler, dude. That'd be such a big show.
Hey, my son's. Did you guys know when he went to the gathering with Zach Allen? My son's mother was the ring girl for that match in JCW.
That was 09, wasn't it?
I think either 09 or 08, one of those. But if you look it up on the internet, she was the ring girl. So she actually got to take his crown and cape backstage. Like, you lucky bitch.
Okay, I've got
That's
three
a weird.
random
It's a weird connection to have with King. Sorry, go on.
I got three random questions about wrestling since the Neck Piss ain't here to do it's three random questions.
Okay.
All right. Question number one. Each of you. What if you could watch one pay-per-view for the rest of your life, what pay-per-view would it be?
WCW Halloween Havoc 2000.
No, God, no. God, no. Oh my God. So we it just dropped today. We did our review of Halloween Havoc 2000 on Spot Show, and it's a bad pay-per-view. So to really answer the question, for me, because I watched the hell out of it as a kid, Royal Rumble 1998. Love that pay-per-view. Absolutely love it.
How about you, Body Rot?
You are asking the wrong person. I can't remember years.
ECW One Night Stand. I love that
Oh,
fucking
hell
pay.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
What year?
Oh, yeah, what year?
The first one, not the second one. Even though the
05?
second one's great, how they boo John Cena, that was great.
Yep.
All right, second one that I wanted to ask. In your opinion, what is the greatest manager in professional wrestling?
Dickie Wabash?
Dickie Wabash.
No. So when I was managing, Paul Heyman was my biggest influence, big Paul Heyman guy. So I have to go Paul Heyman.
I have to go Bobby the Brain.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Jimmy the Hart. Sorry.
No, it's Jimmy
I'll
Hart.
take Paul Heyman.
I'm a Cornette
Jimmy
guy.
Hart was so versatile. He didn't give a fuck.
I always like Cornette. He's good at making people hate his guts.
Yeah, he was.
But he's cocky now, so he negated all his trump, his clout, because he's a fucking cockhead. I don't like Jim Cornette.
I found that like with Jeff Jarrett, I hated Jeff Jarrett growing up. I thought he was the worst fucking guy to watch wrestle. He was so boring, this, that, and the other. Then I watched him and I watched
Jeff
him.
Jarrett's the GOAT, man.
I know. And then I was getting at that when I watched him in his run in TNA, how he always had the belt and he did his own Reign of Terror with the NWA belt and all this shit. And he always fucking was on top. And he always fucking, like, he was just a textbook great fucking wrestler and great heel. And when I realized, man, I really did hate his guts. He was doing his job as a heel. So then I realized how good he really is. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
You
it
need
totally
to go back and watch this WCW 2000s run, man. Greatness.
No.
Yeah, it is great. He fucking hits Beetlejuice with a fucking guitar, dude. Little Beetlejuice. The midget.
Flat nut. Boom.
Yeah, he's like, bam!
Shout out to
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. R.I.P.
He's back.
Right.
Dalton Davis loves Beetlejuice.
Dalton Davis does love Beetlejuice. He also loves Jeff Jarrett.
Hell yeah. Hell
So,
yeah.
so if you hate, it's like hating Jeff Jarrett is like hating AJ Styles. You know, come on. You don't
I
like?
wouldn't go that far.
Why you
No,
don't
the
like
problem
AJ
is-
Styles?
Oh no, I love him. I'm just saying I think they're just two different levels. So the issue with Jeff Jarrett that we have is that we've been like watching a lot of 2000s WCW for the podcast. And Jeff Jarrett was like the main focal point during that time period, and so was Booker T. And those two just had no chemistry when they were in the ring together. And they just their matches were so I made the joke, and you can hear it on the podcast that just went live today. I said in 2000, Jeff Jarrett was the king of give me 15 minutes to go out there and do absolutely nothing. And I stand by that. But the more that like you get him out of that scenario, I think Jeff Jarrett's really good. Yeah.
So take it back to the backyard wrestling and the violent side. What did you guys think of? Who is it? New Jack. Yes.
I love New Jack.
New Jack.
Love New
Even
Jack.
would you wrestle him?
No,
Being
fuck
a
no, fuck no.
Absolutely.
No.
Even if you piss him off, he's like a different tier wrestler. No, it was like, do you think he could be level-headed enough to wrestle a new guy? And
No, that's the fun part.
God no.
Yeah.
No. The story that you always hear is that whenever John Cena got stabbed in 04,
I've never heard
Jesus.
it. So elaborate.
But
Yeah, so
Jesus,
the story was Jesus, absolutely.
Big shoot. We'll see.
Yeah, so
Let's go.
the story was that Carlito debuted and he paid somebody to stab John Cena in a nightclub was the story. And the story that I've always heard is that New Jack was supposed to be the guy that stabbed him, but they didn't feel comfortable working with New Jack because
he would really
he
stab him.
tried to kill someone in the middle of the ring. Yeah, he really would have stabbed John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah, while
You're
being in
about
talks
to
with the
make this look
WWE,
really
he stabbed
good.
somebody.
Yeah, he was stabbed him like 100 fucking times. That dude was nuts, man.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of people that almost murder people, a year ago today, we got not New Jack, but Nick Gage to do a fucking cameo for your guys' boy Jared Savage, and I
hell
remember we all chipped in together to do that, and that was a really cool moment because man, we know how much Jared Savage loves his GCW. I mean, the guy
And Nick
ran.
Gage was the one that almost killed David Arquette, right? No?
Yes, Nick Gage did, but it was his own fault. He turned around and basically laid his own neck into the light tube because he was like,
a lyric in Psycho Screwjob about David Arquette getting his neck sliced?
yes,
There's something like that. Okay, because the more I listen to that song, the more I've picked up on like some of the references that they're making.
right, yeah. It's crazy how they do that because Funtime guys have been doing it for quite a while, doing the whole wrestling innuendos into their music because they are luchador masked rappers like we are the luchador podcasters, I guess you could say, even though we aren't classically trained.
We got others like Flapjack Wilson. Have you guys ever heard of Flapjack Wilson?
Nope.
Can't say I have.
Well,
He has
he's
a
a
song
rapper,
called Real Man.
luchador, but he's super dope. You should look him up.
Yeah, he
Shout
does the
out
wrestling.
to
thing too. Mick Nasty, he likes to do. He's got an album called Elbow Drop that is all about wrestling references. The Michigan Misfits don't need to toot their horns, but they also have a song called Power Bomb Through the Floor.
Well, let's not forget when they came to camp, they were dressed up like the Dudley Boys.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah.
Yes. And the year before that, it was the Nasty Boys, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember that shit. Good times, man. Good times. Hey, my third question that I wanted to ask. I want to get through to you guys before we end this here soon. You guys are commentators, so I figured you guys should have a moment to. Who did you guys idolize as commentators, and what's your favorite commentary team? Basically,
It better not be Taz.
But I digress.
3D and Guido.
nice.
Yeah, so 3D and Guido are the greatest commentators of all time. No. So for me, I'm an Attitude Era kid, so's Madrox. So I mean, naturally, JR and King. You got to say JR and King are the greatest team of all time. And
Yeah. And then when Booker T would pop in, that was great.
yeah.
I only like Booker T when he commentates his own matches.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
he
in
can be
NBA?
number one in a
Fucking
ring.
do it by himself.
So, a little peek ski of Danville Dreamers too. There's a part where Dalton Davis, shout out, he's in this battle royal, and I'm up close filming the ring, and you hear him commentating as he's like, oh, Dalton Davis is about to do a back rake, and then he does a back rake, and he's like, oh, Dalton Davis is a madman. So that's a really funny part in Danville Dreamers too. But so with the whole like studying of commentary and stuff like that, all joking aside, like we legitimately are heavily influenced by Jay and Shaggy doing 3D and Guido, because we our approach to commentary is we're just guys sitting on a couch watching wrestling. We're not going to overanalyze what move was just hit. We're not going to try to explain to you why that move was just hit. I'm just going to sit there and react. And, and I think that's the best way to do it, is just be in the moment. We want the viewer to feel like that they're sitting on the couch with us watching wrestling. And I feel like we do a pretty good job of pulling that off.
No call sheets needed.
Yeah, we just go out there and fly by the seat. Like, so whenever Madrox was going through his health scare, he was gone for a couple of shows. So our other partner in EPW, Colby Jack, he and I spent half of a match talking about the Rocky movies. Like we're still talking about what's going on in the ring, but then I'm like, by the way, 3's the best one. And then he's like, well, and then we're just like trading back and forth talking about the Rocky movies. And I go, okay, so back to the ring. It's like, he just did that like Apollo Creed. Hey, speaking of Apollo Creed, you do realize the timelines don't line up, right? Adonis Creed shouldn't have been, just shit like that. Like,
And speaking of that, you said number 3, not Creed, right?
Oh, no, Rocky 3. Yeah.
Right. I thought you said Rocky Creed was the best.
No. 3.
I was going to
Yeah.
I was going to boot you. Sorry.
No, 3's the best Rocky movie.
Yes,
But,
sir.
Yeah, that's
Was
just
that
what
with
we
Mr.
do.
T and Hogan?
That was the Mr. T and Thunder Lips spot.
Yes,
In the
sir.
flesh, baby. But no, and one thing that like, and so we talk about like JR and King. I'm honestly, a lot of my influence comes from Mike Today and Don West from early
God, I'm glad you
TNA.
brought them up. I fucking think
Yeah.
they're so underrated because Don West was so excited about everything he's seen. Like, it was the first fucking wrestling show he ever seen in his life. And he brought that
absolutely.
enthusiasm. And then
Yeah,
Tanae
rest
was
in peace
such
to
a
him,
smart
too.
guy. Tanae is so
Yeah.
smart about everything.
Tanae was goated, man. And so we really don't like to compare ourselves to other teams, but we like to say that we are the Mike Tanae and Don West of the Midwest. So
That's cool. I like that
Yeah.
slogan. R.I.P. fucking Don West, one of the best.
yeah.
I mean,
My
such a
only
nice
goal
guy.
on commentary is to make Dickie Wabash crack where there's dead silence while he's underneath the table laughing his ass off.
That's
So you
happened
guys
before.
literally try to break your guys's try to shatter your guys's like seriousness at any time to try and make you guys
All the
laugh.
time. All
That's
the time.
funny.
We're always trying
Every
to
match,
make
man.
each other laugh. Yeah, every single match. And we got Colby Jack with us in EPW, and I feel like I want to give him a shout out real quick here, man, because I feel like that he doesn't get his flowers. He is just as crucial of a part of our 3-man commentary team as Madrox and I.
Send
I
him a
would love to
link.
be able.
Can we get him on?
What's that?
Is he awake? Send him a link.
I don't know what he's doing, man. That man needs to sleep. That man needs his sleep. He's got a crazy work schedule, or used to anyway. But he, when we first came into EPW, we were kind of iffy. We were like, man, I don't know if I want a third man with us. And then we got to know Colby, and it's just not the same without him. It was us three together are just a great unit.
Plus,
That's
he's a
understandable.
cow.
And he's a cow.
He's a
Yeah.
cow. I've
Yeah,
seen the
Moon.
pictures of him. He's got the cow face. That's right.
Yeah. Well, he is a cow, so he should have a cow face.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
back on the Rocky real quick. Wasn't Mr. T known as Clubber Lang?
Clubber Lang, man. I'm the greatest of all time. You're scared of me, Rocky
We
Balboa.
can't,
I
we
love that
can't
movie.
drop Thunder Lips and not say Clubber Lang.
Well, you have to.
Oh, this is great, man. I've had a lot of fun here with you guys.
Same. Thank you.
I wanted to also touch on one other thing. You guys also branch out. You guys also branch out to other wrestling companies as well through what you guys are doing. I understand. It's like you guys interweave so you guys can send talent from, one place to another, other states and whatnot. Like you guys said, you guys will be in Danville, but that is not an EPW show, correct?
No, that's an
Nope.
NVW show. So that's the beauty that's the beauty of independent wrestling, is that you can go work wherever. As long as the money's there, go work it. There's really no exclusivity on the indies,
That's cool. And I and that's the one thing that makes me root for you guys the most, because I love wrestling deep down in my core. I've been a fan since I was a kid. And for you guys to care enough to involve that ability to help people, and I'm sorry I keep bringing up Jared, but like him moving out here from, and we all know he moved from Washington.
Yep.
To a Northwest Pro, and I know one of his big concerns moving out here was not only employment, but looking for a place to stay, and also the wrestling thing. And you guys made it so much easier for him to find gigs wrestling and get on his feet, which, that's beautiful thing right there for to see it fully happen for somebody that we know is great. And you guys got also great talent over there at EPW. We had Whiskey and Warrants on, which was a blast.
Those guys. I
can't wait to have
Clayton
them on
Clark,
again.
Yeah, Clayton Clark is one of my best friends in this world, man. And that's no discredit to Poke. I love Poke too. I've just spent more time with Clayton, but love both of those guys. Love both of them. Have nothing but good things to say about those guys.
MADBASH boys right there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Clayton's one of the original 5.
That's awesome. I mean, that guy's a bump machine.
Going back to Jared Savage, though, for a minute. All this is discussed on patreon.com.
See,
Look
there
at
you go.
Madrox getting that plug ski in there, brother.
Got you,
Love to
brother.
see it.
Watching, and thank you guys for all sticking through and watching and learning with us about what these guys are doing and how they're helping. They're helping. They care about the Juggalo and Zooligan community as well. As you've seen, they helped with getting the Psycho Screwjob thing put together by working with LLE and like his name, Michael Madrox. I mean, hello, the guy, he loves the underground just as much. Dickie loves the underground. It's all important to them. So that's why we felt it was important. And thanks to Jared Savage again for also bringing up that we should try to have you guys on, because I can honestly credit him for that, because this is important to him as much as it is to people like me and, anybody else that cares about wrestling as much as, the next guy. But I'm just saying, thanks for being on. And
we're not done, because the Michigan Misfits have something to plug too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we got Body Rot in the house.
So tomorrow you can officially buy one of them bad boys.
What's tomorrow? Friday the 13th.
Oh, are we showing off merch? Hang on a second. I got some shit to show off.
What about
Yeah, that's fucking fresh though.
is this
That's
what
Jen-
was
Is
real
that
quick?
Jenny's head? Is that Jenny's head?
We don't have to put up with her no more.
Jenny's dead. That's why she's gone. Look, her head's on that shirt. That's
Holy shit!
right there on the shirt.
So Body Rock, is this what you were talking about? Only 13 left, or no?
There's
Or
only 13
13?
available. Only 13 available
Yes. Of those.
of those.
What about the mask? What about the mask that you were touting? You were hinting towards.
I don't know.
He's
I
waiting
thought
to hear back.
the 13 were.
Dickie has some shit to show off. Let's see what Dickie's
Yeah.
got.
So, we started doing a thing with our merch table where we're going to be doing limited edition posters, and these are legitimately limited edition. We're going to do limited runs, and then they're never going to be seen again. And the best part about it is that our mission statement with MADBASH is that we literally want to bring paying it forward back. So we're trying to help our MADBASH boys. Maybe they don't have the extra money ski to get them some merch. So we're going to be making these limited edition posters, helping them out, stuff like that. So the first one that we got is this original 5 poster that has all of the original 5 people that we've booked with MADBASH Wrestling. You see the MADBASH Wrestling logo. You see we got Jared on there. We got Shank Barzini, Oliver Kane, Clayton Clark, and Dalton Davis. And there's only 10 of these posters made. So far, we've sold 3. And what's cool about these is that they come with a certificate of authenticity. So you know that it's pretty fucking legit when you have a COA with things. So yeah, that's just what we're trying to do. And then I guess I'll drop a little bit of info again more. The next poster that we are going to be doing is Clayton Clark. So Clayton Clark is going to have a limited edition poster coming out, and there's only going to be 20 of those posters. And once those are gone, they're gone.
Nice.
Nice.
And a good thing with those posters, you can hunt that wrestler down and you can get that autographed.
Yeah,
Which-
exactly.
Funny you say that. The first person to get all 5 signatures from the original 5 on their poster is going to get the next poster free.
Oh, that's the shit.
And that's going to be hard to get. That's going to be hard to get all 5.
Because you're charging $25 a pop.
I'm not
No,
signing.
actually.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Hey, $15, man. You can get one of these posters.
The face collector says he's not down with signing anything.
What
He's
if they
signed
give
for
you
this
half
last
of the
weekend.
face for free?
He'll take your fucking
Well,
face off.
on October 12th at just before 9:30, MADBASH Studios officially came to terms with the release of Jared Savage. We wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors.
Oh my god! I didn't want that
I'm
to
joking,
happen.
Jared. You know I love you, Jared.
Maybe if you offer the man a zebra cake and a yoo-hoo, you never know. You might get that
Yeah,
autograph.
Jared has signed a couple, so people are trying to get that the first 5.
That's dope, though.
So what's it like housing that guy? Do you guys got like a human-sized cage? And
Yeah, I just keep him down in my basement whenever he comes over. We have to muzzle him, and then we just throw him down in the basement.
Sounds
Throw a
like
couple
just-
of little Debbie snack cakes down there. He's good for a couple hours.
And Yoo-hoo.
Yep.
Plenty of Yoo-hoo.
hell yeah, that's dope. That's dope. All right, guys. Did you know that you could get these fancy gloves right here? Right here, these bad boys right here. You can buy several different kinds at Bad Touch Supply. And if you use the promo code Whipstick, who is part of Long Live Evil, you will get 10% off because he's an ambassador over there. And that's what we do for our homie Whipstick because he helped us, do this whole thing because, we had to
You
okay
can
it for
even princess waving them. Look at that. Look at that.
So go get your Bad Touch glove today if you're watching. And
If you want, you don't got to. We're not. Dude,
no,
it's
they
not,
have to.
it's not-
If you watch,
it's not
you have
peer
to.
pressure. It's not peer pressure.
Sorry.
All right?
You
Say
guys know
what's
what
up.
those gloves would be good for?
What
They're
they're
good for
good for
wiping
everything.
Holding an ice cold yoo-hoo.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Yes.
go. Perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect.
If your
One
yoo-hoo
free
is too
Yoo-hoo
cold,
available with the purchase of a Mad Bash Wrestling sticker.
right? If they do that, I will give them the code to get 10% off Bad Touch Supply gloves to hold their fresh, cold, refreshing yoo-hoo.
While they wear this shirt that's available tomorrow.
And they're
And
holding
where
their
can they buy that shirt?
They
At
just hit me up.
BudLight.com.
They just hit me up.
Just hit up Body Rot.
Hit me up.
And once
From
again,
small to 4X.
Yoo-Hoo is a proud sponsor of Mad Bash Wrestling and Mad Bash Studios, which they are doing podcasts, creating content, and helping out the independent wrestling scene.
And the super
hard, do our
fandom
best.
fake time friends say we are not responsible if you lose your endorsement.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
You guys need to come back on if you guys want to.
Bootleg
You always
will
have to do that.
handicap wrestle both of you to get that sponsorship back. In a
That's- I mean, you know what?
no holds barred chair match.
Or we could do a coal miner's glove match.
Right, and me and Body Rot will commentate that.
That's
Non-biased.
fair.
Non-biased.
Down
Hey,
for it.
Michael, Mr.
Yo.
Mad Dog, sir, have you ever had?
You're so Jesus, is he in trouble?
Have you ever
Mr.
taken a bump on
Mad
Legos?
A bump on Legos?
Yes.
Yes.
I bet that hurt like a son of a bitch because I always
Some
cringe when I
say he is Superhuman's dad.
Love Superhuman so much.
What do you
I
guys
always
think of
wonder about a
Superhuman?
bump on Legos.
Well,
I love him. I
if
love
we
him.
keep
I think
talking
his
about
shit's
wrestling,
hilarious.
we'll never end. What do you guys think of Superhuman?
I love him. Absolutely love him. I think his shit's hilarious. The best one, people don't give it enough credit, is when he does the elbow drop onto the microwave and just knocks himself out. That's the best one.
He does. It's great.
He's not even
Great
yelling
anything
God
on
damn
it.
it. Just
So there's one. So the funny thing about Superhuman is that he very clearly is like hamming it up when he lands. He's like, and he's like, but there's one where, and I don't remember what he backflips onto. I think it's barbed wire, but you can tell the legitimate pain in that man's face.
knock the wind out of him. He's like,
Yeah, and he's like, it's so good. But no, the one where he elbow drops the microwave is the best one because he knocks himself out.
God bless him.
And God bless you
Imagine
guys.
him in a death match, dude.
He's been in a GCW show.
He could fight New Jack, I think.
No,
No.
New Jack.
No.
Yeah.
New Jack could peel his face off.
New Jack's dead, sir.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, New Jack. But yes, it's been a
I'm
fun
afraid of New
conversation
Jack's spirit.
guys about wrestling. Wrestling is a fun one, and we like to talk about it a lot. And like I said, you guys ever want to come back and hang out here and announce things or whatever you want to do, hit
We'd
up their
love to.
Patreon. If you guys got Patreon, hit up their Patreon. Like they said, it's free for 7 days.
Yep. Patreon.com/MadBashStudios.
Go watch
Exactly.
the movie trailer.
And I went there and I did it, and I'll vouch for it. It's actually cool content. You'll enjoy it
Thank
if you
you.
enjoy what you
Thank
see
you.
here.
Yep. And we have plenty. I know the $10 tier is a little bit lacking, but we've got plenty of good shit coming to the $10 tier.
Shout out to you guys.
All
Thank you for being here.
All right. Well, we're
Well,
going to call it no then, gentlemen. Everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. And as always, blame any.
Second degree.